Time to take a really in-depth look at the non-conference schedule for BYU women's basketball as they make their Big 12 debut. How do you properly ramp up for a Power 5 conference? To answer that question, we bring in the great Lee Cummard, who knows a thing or two about playing in some big games. And you've had all offseason to think about not just Big 12 play, but certainly this non-conference schedule. Lee, when you look at the 13 games you have lined up, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Just a good slate that gets us ready for Big 12 and the beast that's going to be.
Now, women's volleyball went to Montana to start the season, and you guys were like, hey, let's do that as well. At Montana State, November 7th.
Yeah, it's a return game where they came in and handled their business here. We're looking forward to doing that on their home court. It's an early game because they got all the kids coming in, so it'll be a great environment.
A road kids game.
Yeah, road kids game.
Very
So
nice.
excited for that. It's honestly one of my, I think one of the more important games of the non-conference slate to just kind of set the tone for that.
For
season.
Sure.
So.
And listen, like I've said it on the broadcast last year when I called the game, like they're going to have a great reception. Like Montana's a good state for women's basketball. Like they have a great following.
Absolutely, and that's a winning program. Trisha does a great job up there.
Yes.
They're used to winning. Granted, they've lost a lot from the team that came in here and played, but they're a winning program, so it's a tough game.
All right, you return home for a couple of in-state games against Weber State and Utah Valley to open up the campaign at the Marriott Center. Why do those games matter so much every year? Why do those games have to happen? Coaches feel very strongly about this.
Yeah, I think just playing locally or regional opponents gets everybody excited. Coach wants to play as many in-state teams that want to come to the table and play. And there's other reasons that factor into that too. It helps them travel-wise. They can, come here, or helps us travel-wise and the cost of doing that. But just the in-state rivalries that are created over time, and just it's a good thing.
Then you head to BYU Hawaii. Hey, sports being played at BYU Hawaii again. Let's go. Wake Forest and St. Louis. That'll be fun to have a couple of afternoon games there in November.
Yeah, it's a good test for us to go down there in a neutral site to be able to play, start with Wake Forest, but then play St. Louis, who's a good team and had a good year last year, and it'll be a good early season test, not truly on the road.
You're not entirely out of the West Coast Conference. LMU's in there. Sure. When you come back to the Marriott Center.
Women's volleyball did this. Did you just look at their schedule, Lee? Like what happened?
Montana, LMU.
Well, we tried to play more because with us leaving the conference, they all needed 2 more non-conference games. And LMU was the only one that wanted to come to the table. So
Lions and BYU still connecting.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Awesome. All right, let's go. Then a road trip to Wyoming.
Yeah.
Okay? This is
just setting the stage for football next year.
Exactly. It's something we've talked about with football, but how did Wyoming come on to the schedule?
You missed the Mountain West days.
Came on later in the kind of scheduling process. And yeah, I haven't been to Laramie since
you played.
My last time there. But they got a really good team. It's honestly another big test on the road, and we'll get them to return the following season as well. So
it's always a Super Bowl when BYU comes down Laramie, man. Okay, then at Utah. Of course, Utah was an amazing team last year.
They were all-time good a season ago.
That's a huge game.
That is no doubt the toughest in the non-conference schedule. They'll be top 25 for sure to start. Basically have everybody back. They played meaningful minutes, have added a couple pieces, and that will be a big challenge.
And Jetty.
And
how you feeling about that?
And Jetty's there, and it's from the sounds of it, he got a pretty sweet opportunity, and I congratulate him, wish him the best. But don't get me wrong, we're going to try to stomp his backside into the ground on December 2nd.
For sure.
That competition will be really fun.
Yeah,
it'll be good to see.
Utah State, Boise State, Idaho State, 3 home games in a row, December 5th, 9th, and 16th, respectively, at the Marriott Center. You get back to kind of those regional games, a rivalry with Utah State, and then you bring down a couple teams from Idaho.
Absolutely. So it's good because we get back home. We got a week long, actually, a week of tough games, and then we get to come back home and hopefully get caught up academically and get ready for finals and have some good competition in the Marriott Center before we go on the road to Missouri State. So
And the December 9th Boise State game, that's the Kristen Kozlowski game. She played for both teams, so let's go. You mentioned you're going to Missouri State, and then you'll play Nevada neutral there as well, and close out the non-con. And hopefully at that point you're feeling like, hey, we're ready for the Big 12.
Yeah, we want to go into the non-con overall a little bit better than we went into conference last season. We feel like we put a schedule together that can do that with some challenges in there, no doubt, probably more than we would hope for. In the study of kind of the P5 level, how they schedule, it ranges all over the place. You got teams that will play anybody, anytime, anywhere. And then you got other teams that will pay 10 teams to come in, and they're, bottom 50 teams, at least the net. And so we kind of have a mix of that, have some good road challenges, and hopefully we go into the conference season faring better than we did last season.
Lee, great to have you with us. We appreciate the schedule breakdown.
Way to get a Hawaii trip in there, dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
You've earned this.
We'll always play in a warm climate, MTE.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Hey, why not Italy and Hawaii in the same calendar year?
Look at you. What a travel year.
Not a bad gig.
What a Delta Sky Miles year for you.
Yes. Your wife is very happy, right?
She'll be in Hawaii, so she's excited.
That's awesome. Thanks, Lee.
Thanks for having me, guys.